time to take the GE 6050 BTU Air Conditioner apart for cleaning. The coils are a little bit dirty, they're not bad, but I want to clean them anyway. And I want to clean out the bottom pan. So, gotta take the front cover off first. Those two, there's a screw right there holding it on. Screw on this side, and then if you take the filter cover off, I'll do pulls off, and there's a couple of screws in here, one right there and one right there, and there's a clip holding it on each side, and then some clips up here. But what you want to do is push in on the metal case and pull out right here, and then that'll come off, and then you can get this one out. So I'm going to start, well, I'll go over the rest of the screws first, but got a screw right there and right there. Got two on the top, one right there, one there, and then on this side got one down there, and then one over there. And you have to take these panels off, so basically you pull them all the way out, and they slide out like that. So down, and this top piece that holds it against the window, there's 4 screws on that. Those have to come out too, and then the metal case will come off. So let me take the other side off, and I'll start unscrewing these screws. Got the front panel off, and I took this piece off that holds it against the window, and now I'm going to go ahead and undo all the rest of the screws that I showed, and this case will come off. Okay, case is off. These screws down here do not have to come off to remove the case. I also took out that screw right there, and then the one on this side, so that I could lift this fan, motor, assembly, and shroud up. That way I'll be able to get that crap on the bottom inside of there washed out, because if that was all the way down, then that would just block all that stuff from coming out. But since this is lifted up now, you can see I can lift it up even higher. I'll be able to get all that stuff out easily. Another thing that's very important with these units is to drill a drain hole for the water. These are set up in a way that they keep water in the bottom pan, so when you get condensation from the evaporator coil, or you get rainwater or whatever in there, it all stays in the bottom pan. And you can see part of the condenser is actually supposed to be submerged in water. That's to help with efficiency, but it does not help with reliability. All that does is cause rust, and it will cause galvanic corrosion on the copper loops on the condenser coil, and you'll end up losing refrigerant. That's why a lot of these modern air conditioners have problems. What I did was I lifted up, or I unscrewed the condenser coil so I could lift it up and out of the way so I wouldn't puncture the refrigerant lines when I was drilling the hole. I'm going to spray the evaporator coil, which really isn't that bad. There's a little dust on it, but I'm also going to spray the condenser, which as you can see is a little dirtier. I'm going to spray it with some foaming coil cleaner, let that sit on there and get rid of all the, or loosen up all the dust, and then I'm going to spray it with the hose sprayer. Probably spray some foam on the inside of the coil and through the outside, and then I'll spray it or rinse it out from the back, and maybe try and get in from the front too if that doesn't get all the dust off. I'm going to put this on the floor now. Okay, we're all foamed up. Evaporator is all full of cleaner. Inside of the condenser is nice and foamy, and so is the outside. So I'm going to let that sit on there for a little bit, and then I'll spray it and rinse all the crap out. Yeah, I sprayed it again with the coil cleaner just because I wanted to get some more stuff off of that condenser. And it's pretty clean. There's a few spots that it didn't really work very well on, but it's better than it was, that's for sure. It's kind of hard to see in there. This fan is really blocking most of it. But yeah, that bottom part that's at the bottom of the air conditioner is nice and clean. That looks a lot better, and as you can see, the water is dripping out of it right now. I also put a drain hole on this side, so yep, this one should be all ready to go. I'm gonna let it dry overnight because it's got some water in there, and obviously you don't want to plug it in when it's wet. It's one thing you got to be really careful of on these air conditioners that have electronic controls, or really any kind of controls, because you can get water in them and that can cause a problem. So try to avoid that, and if you do get water in there, let it dry for a long time before you plug it in. I'm going to let this sit here and dry overnight. Just to get that electrical box area to dry out good, I'm going to run this fan on low all night, and hopefully that dries it out nicely. It's time to start putting it back together. It has thoroughly dried out. I had that fan blowing at it for quite a while last night, and yeah, we should be good to go. I think that's completely dry. A little damp in there still, but it's no big deal. And it's all clean, so let me start gathering the parts up and I'll put it back together. The reassembly is done. Now I'm going to start it up. Getting lots of airflow through that condenser. Air coming out of there smells nice and fresh. I'm going to turn the heater on and get the compressor to start. For a while, make sure we're all good. I can feel this starting to get cold already. It's going to get cold pretty fast. And that's getting warm. The air coming out of this feels noticeably cooler now that the coils are all clean. So it really does make a difference. That is nice and cold.